Today I'll be taking the Eurostar from London St Pancras for 212 miles to Paris Gare du Nord, checking out the lounge, seat and onboard service, and a few days later the return journey from Paris back to London. My experience on both journeys was quite different, so stick around to see if I think it's worth the price tag and how you can get almost the same experience for way less. With that said, let's start our journey in London. I'm here at St Pancras International Station. I'm about to take the Eurostar from London all the way to Paris in their top class of travel, Business Premier. Let's go check it out. As soon as I enter St Pancras International Station, I'm greeted by a huge snaking queue for the Eurostar departures. That's for Standard and Standard Premier class. Luckily, as I'm travelling in Business Premier class, I can skip all of that and use the dedicated Business Premier track. Carte blanche holders can also use this. With the formalities out of the way, I'm dumped into the waiting area, which is always super crowded and hard to find a seat in my experience. I avoided all of this by making my way to the Business Premier Lounge, on the very right as you enter. You can access this lounge by travelling in Business Premier, being a carte blanche holder, or with a UK, France or Belgium issued American Express Platinum card, travelling in any class. This is a long and narrow lounge spread over 2 floors. On the right, as you enter, there's seating and tables with a spiral staircase at the end to go up. On the left, there's a self-serve bar area with some nuts and snacks with little bowls, coffee, water, soft drinks and some spirits. Continuing on to the very left is another staircase taking you up to the 2nd floor of the lounge. It's quieter up here, with carpets helping to dampen the sound. There's more comfortable seating with little tables, most of which have UK and European power sockets with USB-A and C on the back. There's this great looking cocktail bar which acts as a smoothie bar in the mornings from 6 to 12, and then there's a cocktail bar from 3 PM till close. Annoyingly though, this is only open Monday to Friday, and as I was travelling on the weekend, it was completely closed. Bit annoying when you spent so much on a ticket. I made do with a drink from another self-serve fridge and bar on the 2nd floor, and made myself comfortable with my glass and mixed nuts. Out the windows to my side, you've got views of King's Cross Station across the road. Towards the back, there's this roped-off reserved area with different style furniture. No idea who this is for, but let me know in the comments if you do know. And at the very back is a set of toilets in this darkish style, which were pretty clean. Boarding for my train was announced, so I made my way down the spiral staircase and back into the chaos of the main waiting area. And when I say chaos, I am not joking. It was absolutely rammed to get to the escalators leading up to the platform. Eurostar operates the A320 plane, the E320 train on this route, and Business Premier is located in the very front carriage. It was completely full in Business Premier today, which I'd never seen before, although it was a bank holiday weekend. I usually sit in seat 42, a forward-facing table seat, which I normally get to myself, but since it was so busy today, I swapped with a couple and went for this standard solo seat, saving me having to stare into a stranger's eyes for 2 hours. It wasn't long before the train departed and the snacks and champagne were served. Cheers. The journey continued down south through the English countryside. The service seemed a bit slower than usual today, probably because of the full carriage, so it took until we reached Folkestone, where the tunnel begins, for food to be served. Food is served on the tray, with the starter and dessert already on it. I also had another glass of champagne and rosé before the main course arrived. There was a hot option of beef that didn't look very appealing, so I went for the cold smoked salmon main. We popped out on the French side in Calais just as I was digging into my dessert. Overall, the food itself was nice, but definitely more comparable to an economy flight meal than a business flight meal. Not that this is a flight. Quick toilet tour time. These are the same in all classes of travel. It's a simple toilet and sink setup, does the job. The rest of the journey was pretty uneventful. We continued on through northern France until we pulled into Paris Gare du Nord. Being in the very front carriage means you get out first, and having completed all the immigration formalities in the UK means you exit directly into the station. Stick around to see my return journey, which I thought was considerably better. I've just had a great weekend in France. I'm about to head back to London, so let's go check out what the Eurostar Business Premier experience is like from Paris to London. Let's go. Inside the station, the Eurostar entrance is up 1 floor using this escalator in the middle of the station. The Business Premier entrance is quite understated compared to London. It's just this little side track which merges into the main passport and security lanes. There is no separate security lane here. The entrance to the lounge is to the left after security and up an elevator or stairs. Once your boarding pass has been checked, it opens up into this main area, which I think looks way classier and more spacious than the London Lounge. These large windows overlooking the front of the station flood the room with natural light. There are sofas lining the inside edge of the room with European, UK and USB-A charging sockets below. Further down into the lounge, there's the food and drink area with refrigerated drinks, a selection of different snack bowls and coffee, wines and spirits available to self-pour. And even further into the lounge, my favourite area, the cocktail bar. I love the design of this area, and thankfully it was Monday today, so the bar was open and I ordered the Miguel Martini, which tasted great. Not forgetting the toilets, which can be found by the entrance. These were clean, bright and in a nice modern style. I definitely prefer these to the London ones. Back in the lounge, there's this high seating overlooking the station for anyone wanting to work, but for me, I settled into this sofa. Not before asking the barman to surprise me with something off menu. I enjoyed my cocktail and watched the activity in the station below until boarding for my train was announced. When it was time to board, I made my way back down and to the platform where I boarded a much more pleasant and less busy carriage today. With a bit more space to film, these are all the different types of seating available in Business Premier. First up, the solo seat, the same one as I took on the train out. Then, the double seats. Both the solo and double face the back of the seat in front with a pull-down tray table. Then, my usual, the two-person table, as long as I've got it to myself. And finally, the quad table for 4 people. Since the carriage was pretty empty today, I settled into the quad table for the extra space. The seat itself is comfortable enough for a 2-hour-ish journey. In front, you have a table which can be pulled out to give yourself more space to eat or work. On the bottom side of the seat, there's a touch-sensitive bit of metal in the shape of a light bulb which turns on the reading light. And under the armrest, there are both UK and European power sockets. For the solo seats, these alternate, so make sure you check when selecting your seat. It wasn't long before the train was moving and we started making our way back towards London. The service started a lot faster today, with an antibacterial wipe being handed out first, quickly followed by a pack of peanuts, and then of course, a glass of champagne. I started sipping and doing a bit of work until the meal service arrived. The tray is placed on the table with the fixed starter and dessert, and the choice of main comes later. Today, the starter was some sort of pesto, olive and cucumber salad. For mains, I went for the hot option, the trout risotto. And dessert was this mini cake with icing. This all tasted good and did the trick for the short journey. As you can see, I also had some rosé, Coke Zero and water. Not at the same time, of course. It feels like a completely different experience being on the quad table seat on your own. It's much nicer with the bigger table space, being able to spread all your things around. The problem is, you can't guarantee this space, especially during busy times, so it is a bit of a gamble. The rest of the journey was fairly pleasant and uneventful. We went through the tunnels and came out the other side, and for the remainder, I simply did a bit of work enjoying the countryside views passing by. I eventually pulled into St Pancras International Station, where this weekend trip came to an end. So, do I think Business Premier is worth it? Not really. I mean, it's in the name who it's for. Business travellers. The main perk is the fully flexible ticket, which most leisure travellers with fixed dates wouldn't need. Otherwise, you can get lounge access with a UK, France or Belgium issued Amex Platinum card, and the exact same seat is available in the standard Premier carriage for a much lower price, which I think is the sweet spot. The price of Business Premier between London and Paris is fixed at £275 British each way on all dates, so this journey came to £550. Standard Premier, with the same seat but only a 2-course meal, starts at £70 each way, but this is typically around the £120 mark in my experience, so for £240 return, less than half the price of business, you can have a similar experience, which is what I'd recommend. Let me know in the comments if you think it's worth the price tag, and please, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be back to the skies for the next one. Till next time.